A warm welcome back to the Forensic Detailing channel. Let me tell you something. If I got that apron on, it means I'm in business. So today's mission is, I don't know what that is, like greasy mark, but is to try and get rid of this. So there's that wiper sort of haze from grit and stuff that's built up over the years on an old windscreen. We're going to try and cut it away. So let's get our light source on. We've just kind of masked up the roof and around there because I think this might get a little bit messy. The products that we're going to be trying to use are the 3D glass polish, which I nicked. I borrowed from the Pro Detailer's glass seal mega test. We were using this to prep everything. So it's a cerium oxide glass polish, pure abrasive, obviously, removes swells, watermarks, scratches, water spots, all that sort of stuff. Shallow wiper marks, yeah. Polish vitres. Vitres, I don't know what that means. Yeah, this product's not been used very many times. The bottle's a couple of years old. The bottle does sort of choke out a little bit and get a bit dodgy, which is nice if you can get your labels tight, but who cares? Directions. Well, first of all, so that's the glass polish we're using, 3D glass polish, cerium oxide. We're using a rayon pad. We're using a Flex P14-2 rotary polisher, but we're using it on a Freklar flexible plate, just so I can lean a little bit to get a bit more pressure. If I was using a rigid plate with a sponge, you're polishing right on the edge only, whereas this flexible plate is just going to allow me to create a bit more of an edge. I've got some water here ready to mist as well to keep the polish loose. No idea what to expect here. I'm hoping to get some good improvement, but I'm just not sure what's possible. So always work on a cool, clean surface. I've cleaned it off with glass cleaner beforehand. I probably have my hands on it. We're not too worried about that. Cool surface, yeah, in the shade. Shake product well. I've done that a few times, but we'll do it again before we start. Is clean before machine polishing. It is an interface pad is recommended between the backing plate and the polishing pad. To soften it, maybe, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't think we're going to need that with, well, our plate is flexible. Apply a circle of product directly into the center portion of the face. That will help reduce, sorry, you're going to struggle to see that. That'll help reduce sling. Press the face of the pad against the glass. Turn the polisher on using a slow speed setting and spread the product out. After spreading the product out, bring the tool speed up to top speed, high speed, sorry, and begin moving the polisher over the glass using a crosshatch overlapping pattern. Well, interested in that. So what's it saying? A mist of water here helps the polishing. Yeah, so when it starts to dry up, if you're hurling dust everywhere like a, like when they're chopping up a tree and it's throwing out the tree out the chopper. 1500 to 200 RPM range, high speed setting. Yes, that's reasonably high. Apply medium pressure to the head of the polisher. Buff for a few minutes. Seems quite a long time. Yeah. Product dissipates. Stop buffing. Wipe off residue and inspect. Yes. If marks, shallow defects remain. Clean your pad. Add fresh product. Repeat if necessary. So it's quite simple instructions. The problem with this glass, and I'm no means a glass polishing expert, far from it really, I just don't usually attempt it. The problem is this glass is rock hard. This front windscreen is also laminated, I suppose, which comes into play. I don't know what's possible, so I'll be really pleased. What we'll try and do is just do a test area there over that. That's probably over a single. See where you got two blades wiping there, so you've got double swipe marks. So maybe if we just do a test up and down that area there first, that will give us a good idea of what's going on and if it's possible. So we're going to put a circle of the polish there in the center of the pad. I'm going to have to leave the polisher back a little bit. So we'll follow the instructions. The only thing is the cross hatching, and we're just going to do a test area. I'm not going to be going into the paint like crazy, the glass like crazy, sorry, because I'm worried about vibration and smashing the glass. So I'm going to just sort of go with a medium pressure, just see what happens on this first set. So yeah, sorry, it's going to be, the audio is going to be a bit muffly. Let's just spread this. So once we've done that, that's the whole thing about spreading a film, is you're less likely to chuck it everywhere. This is where you're going to introduce heat, and you're going to be worried about dusting and slinging stuff everywhere. So will that fit in that pocket? That would be impressive if it does. It does, yeah, but just leave that over here because it's going to get in the way a little bit. So I'm just going to go about 1200. Well, I should really, it suggests 1500 to 2000. Let's just get on with it and just see how we get on here. Nice and smooth. Ooh, get a bit of vibration there. Oh, I need to lean back a bit. It's nice. It did suggest 2 minutes, which sounds like 2 minutes sounds like an extraordinary long amount of time to be polishing on that. I just want to have a look and see what that's done. I want to have a little butcher's. Just want to have a little butcher's, because I don't want to be going hell for leather if I don't need to. Has that improved it? Yeah, it bloody has actually. It's quite good. Yeah, I didn't work that bit over there so much. That glass is going to be hot. That has improved it though, yeah. Just get that bit off. This will all be water miscible. So definitely down that channel, yeah, it's hot. I can see, like there's that polishing line there, that the clarity is coming back. I've got some muck on the inside. This glass polish is imprinting quite a lot when I try and buff it. I can see a really good amount of improvement down there, and I'm surprised because I wasn't going hell for leather. So it seems to have done a really good job actually. I'm just going to mist once onto this pad and then put another ring on of polish. I think we had a good amount of polish, we had a good amount of pressure, and 2 minutes is just an insane amount of time. Like I say, I don't want to be dusting up. I don't want to be dusting up everywhere that I'm kind of polishing and putting this. So let's just make a little loose film. And I need to start thinking really about where I'm polishing, or else I'm going to be working, you know, like I want to avoid overlapping. So what I'm going to do is just try and work over this centre dot in that section there, and then I'll do the same on that lower section. So let's just work that in a bit. Not sure about this cross hatching, but I'm just going to follow the instructions. This plate is phenomenal. if you get the rotary, if I'm tilting too far forward, suddenly when I get past that point, it's going to want to pull me. So if I just keep the rotary tilt back towards me, it's sweeping around there, it's stable. This flexible plate is awesome. So the moment I go that way, it's going to want to pull. That felt like enough of a set to me. What I'm really impressed with is I can feel this is, you know, working the glass hard, and I'm hitting this, you know, about 1200, a little bit higher. I thought I'd be dusting this thing to hell and back, and this would be messy, but it's actually quite civilised. I think I could up the aggression, but it's just working really well. So a bit of water will just loosen that. This is where it's going to get progressively messy, but if you just get all that main bit tidied up first there, like that, then you're out the risk. You're out the woods. Oh, that's done a good job. Yeah, that's really improved it. Yeah, I'm quite impressed actually. So yeah, I mean, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. See, we've still got some effect of the polish, but and we've still got some deeper marks there, but the hazing is gone. There's a real juicy one there. It must be deep. Yeah, I think the thing you don't want to do is go chasing perfection. So you can see, God, it's a big improvement. I think the camera is struggling in focus, so if I get it on my thing, but that's like the haze we had before we polished. And it's just really taken out that fine haze. And it's pretty easy to do. And I tell you what, I'm reasonably surprised actually. I thought there'd be a tiny bit of improvement, but it's actually doing a good job. This flexible plate is the absolute winner for this job. Let's just do another set. So I'm just going to clear out the round pad a little bit with the Rupes brush. Just get that out. Another circle of polish in there. Just want a nice good wet film. And we'll go from here where it's quite bad. Just make our film. I wonder if we can do all that whole area there. Feels like too much, getting greedy. But let's just do it, because I'm not aiming for perfection, so I'm just aiming to polish and improve the glass. Let's do it. At some point this has got to start dusting. We're getting a bit of sling now. Got a hard on the hands because you've got to keep that pressure down. Stick with the set piece because it's working. There is a little bit of sling, but it's more kind of drier polish sling. So I'm just trying to work reasonably clean here. The danger with this is you end up just making an absolute mess. I don't want to do that. Wow, yeah, that's really good. Really good improvement. Certainly be stripping any films of old stuff that's on there off. Still hazy. I can see there. Could probably benefit from going again, or benefit from working more aggressively. I'm working reasonably clean, but it's improved. It's definitely improved. You could probably already see that, but we've still got quite a lot of haze there. So in that double area, right there is the worst concentration of it. It must be because you're at the tip of the wiper blade, so the grits, but you're also getting the double crossover point. So I'm just going to go again on that area. Well, you get the idea now. That's 2 sets of polishing. So what I'll probably do is just now go offline and then come back when I'm finished, and I'll be happy with a good level of improvement on this, excuse me, on this glass. So let's see where we are. But yeah, I think you could go harder. You could crank up a bit faster, but this seems to be working. I don't want to get too high into that. You know, if I went in at 2000, put more pressure in, I think I'd get more sling, higher velocity sling, more heat, and everything would start going wrong. This just seems to be a good little method I've got going here. So if it works, keep going. Okay guys, so I am done. And that on the whole went well. Forgive the knocking, just relocating. Sling is going to be the issue doing this. So I could have masked up better. So I just remasked that lower C a little bit better because I was making some mess down here. That means you've got to go and tidy that mess up. So that wasn't ideal. So just better masking. And the other thing I could have done is bag the windscreen wipers because they get stuff on them, but not a lot. What I think I've learned is running at around 12 to 1300 RPM, tiny bit less than they say, just controls sling a little bit more. Obviously, if you're up at 1500 to 2000, you're going to be spinning faster, maybe cutting a bit more aggressive, but when you do sling, it's going to sling it further and in more places. I need to clean the windscreen down, and I haven't gone and done this and perfected the glass, far from it. You can still see those scratches, but they're deep. So that's like the area that was mega hazy, and now it's it's clearer. It's clear, it's a hell of a lot clearer actually. This was covered in swirls. So it works really, really well. I've spent less than an hour. You could spend like a lot longer possibly. You know, the setup of everything takes time, but I could go and do it again and then start getting more out and stuff like that, and you know, going for a higher level. That's up to you, but the main thing for me was not messing anything up, not chucking all the stuff everywhere and, you know, throwing polish everywhere, and getting a level of improvement. And I've already exceeded the level of improvement that I was expecting. So yeah, really happy with that. What I'm going to do now is clean it off with just normal. I'll probably use water-based because it's a water-based polish. I'll just use like a rubbing alcohol and water and clean this all down and then prepare it. And then I'll put on the Glaco Ultra glass sealant, because I've stripped this glass now, so it'll be, you know, visibility will be great, but when it rains, there'll just be that hydrophilic film over the car, and you know, it's just nice to have the glass sealant on there. So yeah, really impressed. As always very impressed with whenever I use product from 3D Car Care. I think they've got some good pedigree, this brand, and I think they've got really good abrasive pedigree. I remember the 3D Speed, I think it was the 3D Speed, the one with the Montan wax was an excellent polish. This is an excellent glass polish. I found at 1300 RPM, it didn't need like reviving up with the water because I wasn't really blasting it and getting it too hot. If you did a 2-minute set at 1500 and you need to water it to loosen it, then I think when you water it and then carry on polishing, that's when you're going to make a real mess. So if you can just put that slurry down, follow these instructions, that circle on the inside of the pad is really good. Clean that pad out after every set with the brush. And I thought that the instructions to spread it all out first and then hit it weren't going to be good, and it would just be get it the polisher down, fire it up, and then go. But no, actually spreading it out and cross hatching was actually really fine. Worked absolutely fine. The key thing is just not too much polish. If you put polish around the edge, you will sling it. So that's why they're telling you to get it in the middle. You will get a little bit of sling, no doubt about it. So make sure you really mask up well. But that was my biggest fear, but that went really well. This product, yeah, very good. It does have the cut required with the round pad to really improve your glass. Don't chase perfection. This was a windscreen, I think, out of like either 110,000 mile car or 160,000 mile car that was really heavily kind of degraded to the point where it's a bit annoying. And now I think it's like a decent windscreen that's just got some deeper marks in it. You'll notice it, but it's a lot better, and I'm happy with that. So right tools for the job, yes, definitely recommend that glass polish. Any rotary polisher, but this is obviously a brilliant one, the PE14. But if you use that flexible pad, you don't need to use an interface pad because it gives you all that play that you need. If you're on a rigid plate pad, like I say, you'll get walked more when you try and tilt. And you know, it's good to tilt when you're doing this. You just tilt and then you find that balance point. And I was tilting to the left, and once it's balanced, you just move it a bit like a robot. And if you're up like this, so your pad's not flat to the glass, it's up like that slightly, well then when you come up here, you're not going to get into that edge, you're going to see your polish stops here. So then if you're tilting left and back slightly, you change that to front and right slightly and then pull along the edge, so you're kind of polishing down the edge. That's the only time that I adjusted the position of the polisher. If you put that polisher flat on the machine, on the panel, and you're working around crosshatch, that's when sometimes that change of angle that you don't feel can suddenly, mean that the machine will start biting and bouncing because you haven't got the balance. So that's why I think get it down, spread your polish, get the tilt, and then keep that tilt while you're fine. And then when you need to change it, do the opposite of it to get tight to an edge where you need to. Keep the set less than 2 minutes. If it suddenly starts throwing up, it hasn't dusted for me, which is really important, but if you suddenly start throwing loads of stuff everywhere and it's getting on the car because you haven't covered it, stop. Don't be afraid to stop. If in doubt, you could mask the entire car and bag the entire car off, and then that way you're kind of covered, but you'll get it all over yourself. If you look at me, I'm not plastered in polish. I think that's dry polish. That's not from just now, but there is some. Look, actually there is some. You are going to sling a bit, guys. I'm assuming I did that just now because it feels wet. If you do sling and it goes somewhere, don't carry on. I always think it's best to pick it up because if it dries, then it's harder to remove. But if you wipe it when it's wet, it's really, really good. So that was a success, and this is very much DIYable, I think. And if I can do it, you can most definitely do it, that's for sure. I didn't think that would go quite so smoothly, but half the thing is having the right tools, setting up properly, and just not going hell for leather. Don't go full attack mode. Go back from full attack mode. Get a good technique, and if it's working, it's working. It's better to be a bit less aggressive, isn't it, than more aggressive. So fantastic. So thanks for watching, and let me know. So guys, loads of you may have done this a lot more than me. What tips and tricks you've got for making this easier. the wet cloth for the wipe down is really good. So make sure you got a wet cloth that you can mist the water on to loosen the film, tidy up after your set, and a dry cloth in case you get any little overspray bits on dry bits that you don't want to wet and cover with the wet polishy cloth, you know, like the wiper blades and stuff, the wing mirrors or whatever, you know what I mean? Or just right into that little seal if you wipe it out, which is what I had to do. So really good fun, and decent results, good products. Thanks for watching, take care.
Holding on to what I knew, but the moment's gone. Where was I when